Hello, my name is William West, and this is my Curator's Corner project for Humanities for the fall semester of 2025. I'm going to be talking today about the Temple of Hephaestus, which is in Greece, and it was built between 460 and 420 BC. So, hope you're excited to learn about it, as I am to present you some information about it. So, the Temple of Hephaestus, it is considered the most well-kept temple or ancient building from ancient Greece that is still standing today. It's still in very good shape, given its age. I mean, it's almost 3,000 years old at this point. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's in such good shape still and why it's so well kept. It's constructed. It's overlooking ancient Agora, which is in Athens. Construction began in 449 BC, which is in the golden age of ancient Greece, and it was under Pericles' rule. It's dedicated to Hephaestus, which is why it's named Temple of Hephaestus, who is the god of fire, metalworking, and craftsmanship. And it also is as an honor to Athena, and she is the patron of the crafts. And it was built strategically near where a lot of craftsmen practiced. So it was like the god of what they were doing was overlooking what they were doing. Basically, it was built that way intentionally. It was built under a part of artistic and civic rebuilding that Athens was undergoing, like I said, under Pericles. But it progressed rather slowly because a lot of resources at the time were going to building the Parthenon, which was being built at the same time. Obviously, the Parthenon, one of the most famous buildings in the world, took priority. And so it was completed in 415 BC, which is 34 years later. And kind of reflected a shift of priorities in Athens during that era. It shifted more towards the artistic and civic rebuilding it was going through at the time. It's built in a classic Doric style. It's got massive columns, 6x13. Let's see, it's made of pentelic marble, which is the same material it's used in most other major classical buildings, especially from that time. The interior at one point had massive bronze statues of Hephaestus and Athena. Both those are not there anymore. The reason that it's still in such good shape, even to this day, even given its age, is because it converted to a Christian church in the early Middle Ages, and so it was still taken care of, cleaned all the time, and it was still in use, so they kept it under constant repair, and it wasn't dismantled as some of the other ancient Greek buildings were. And then it also, like I said, it wasn't abandoned, so people cared for it. And then later on, it was used as a burial place and museum, so it was always maintained. Even after the ancient Greeks were gone, and they no longer use it as a temple, that what it was originally built for, it still maintained relevance, and therefore was maintained and remained in good shape. And that's why it has had continuous use for a very, very long time. That kept it from being dismantled, basically. So like I've said before, it is the best preserved building that is still standing in ancient Greece. It's a great example of classic Greek architecture and design, the Greek Doric design. It's where it's in such good shape. Like, and a lot of the other buildings are fragmented or torn down or broken or whatever. This one is still in very good shape, and you can see their original design elements and what they really had in mind. And that's helped historians really understand the importance of the craft that the ancient Greeks had for these buildings they were doing. They were very intentionally designed, very strategically built, and they really had a lot of planning and effort went into them. And you can really see that with that one where it's with the Temple of Hephaestus, where it is in such good shape still. And then on top of that, it allows modern visitors to see it as well, where it's still open and still in such good shape. And obviously it's maintained now as it's a historical building. And so it's a good place for anyone to go see it and not have to imagine what it looked like in its prime. It still looks very much like it did then. And that's just, I find that to be very remarkable, very impressive, really, the amount of craftsmanship and just effort and mind power, I guess, that went into the architecture at the time, and how, with the lack of technology compared to today, like how they even remotely did those buildings, and to see one still in the condition that the Temple of Hephaestus is in is just, it's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about the age of it. And that's the biggest thing I took away from trying to do some research on this, and when I was picking a building, really, or picking anything to do, that's part of the reason I picked this, is because it is so well maintained, and I found that to be impressive at between 2,400 and 3,000 years old, to have it still standing in such immaculate condition is very, very interesting to me, very impressive. And I hope you thought so too. Thank you for watching. This has been my Curator's Corner, and hopefully do it again.